This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
No. Don't even tell me that we have an injury. And an injury just popped up on the injury report, and this is going to change a lot for Monday night. It sucks, but we just have to take our shots and do what we got to do. And we have a lot to talk about here, good and bad, so let's get into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
This is the time. This is what you have to deal with in season sometimes, okay? And the good thing about this whole thing, as much as it can be bad news when you have an injury, is that it's early in the season. It's week 2 right now. So this isn't week 12, week 14, where you have to win a specific amount of games or the Eagles are just behind by a couple games for the first season. Whatever the case may be, this is an early process. This is early as early can be to where you could rip the Band-Aid off, not force players to play while being injured, okay? And we have a lot to discuss regarding A.J. Brown coming up on the injury report. This video is sponsored by BetUS, and this is a word from our sponsors at BetUS. If I'm the betting man, then I am, and you're rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the redemption year for Jalen Hurts. This is the year we get the bad taste out of our mouths from last season. If I'm going all in, ride or die with a Super Bowl and bringing that Lombardi trophy back to Philadelphia for a second time, you need to go to BetUS, and I'm not wasting any time with it. I'm putting $500 down as the risk and getting $7,000 back at the end of the year because this offense is going to be explosive. This defense by Vic Fangio is going to be dynamic. A 150% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. Click the link in the description below. Start betting and start winning. So as the news progresses on, it looks like after Thursday's or Friday's practice, I don't know what day it was, but A.J. Brown ended up on the injury report as a hamstring injury. Now, how does this affect the Eagles? Well, because really at the end of the day, this is your dominating big receiver that you have right now. And anybody else besides Johnny Wilson, guys that really haven't had many snaps to say, okay, well, someone could take his spot easily and just take over his role. You can't replace A.J. Brown in this game, but what you can replace is obviously better play calling, a much-needed bigger run game with Saquon Barkley. I know he had 26 touches overall between receiving and rushing last week, but I think that's not going to change going to this week. Get a bigger run game. So what do you do here? Okay, I think simple is to say it. You're probably going to have Devontae Smith at one spot, and I think this is going to be really Jahan Dotsons. This is going to be his time to shine, okay? Now, he didn't play much in that first game in Brazil because he hasn't been caught up with the playbook. He just got traded. He wasn't around for a long time, guys. It's not easy for a guy to get traded to Philadelphia from one different scheme to another and just start, doing all, being productive immediately. So Jahan Dotson, this is going to, as much as we say we didn't try to get more pressure on him, he's going to have some pressure this week. And I don't think it's really going to phase him. I'm not really worried about it too much, but he's been the number 2 before, okay? He's made plays. He's a deep threat ability, not the best contested catch guy, but if they work him into where they do some different things with him, Kellen Moore gets him open a lot, it should be interesting to see what they do. So that's one thing that they could do this Monday night if A.J. Brown can't play. Okay, another thing they could do is bringing up the Britton Covey, or not even bringing up Britton Covey, but getting Britton Covey more opportunity. I don't know if you're going to do more of the short, quick pass type offense because you don't really have that big receiver contested catch ability with A.J. Brown, and how much is that really going to be missed in an offense like this? I don't think it's going to be a loss, but I don't think it shouldn't be the biggest problem that we have. That's why Jahan Dotson is here. Britton Covey, will he get more of an opportunity? I'm not really sure. Johnny Wilson, I feel like they value him more as a blocker than really a catcher at this point, as a receiver, really. Even they can use him for red zone, they threw one pass to him, I think, last week, but I don't think they're really on board with him being that guy on the outside. I think maybe the smartest thing that they could probably do as of right now is bring up Paris Campbell, maybe to play on the outside. He could play in the slot. He could play on the outside. So that could be another move they could make. Paris Campbell's a vet. Do we trust Paris Campbell on the outside as much? I don't know. So in my opinion, I think they will have Jahan Dotson or Paris Campbell on the outside of this game, or they keep Jahan Dotson on the inside and kind of work with a few guys. Maybe it's Paris Campbell, maybe it's Johnny Wilson, maybe it's maybe switch guys up every few plays, but I think they'll use some different players for some specific plays. So losing AJ Brown, yeah, it sucks, but like I said, it's week 2. Okay, it's not week 14. Okay, when you worry about things like this, if the guy is not even 80% prepared to play or 80% healthy, do not play AJ Brown. It is not worth it. I'd rather take a loss. Okay, as much as I don't want to lose, I would rather take the loss without AJ Brown and let him get healthy than put him on the field and make this injury worse. I don't think the Eagles are going to lose this game. I think even without AJ Brown, they are still talented. They are more talented at running back. They are more talented at receiver. They are still talented. This is why you have your 1A and your 1B receivers in Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. And this is why, see, if they didn't have Jahan Dotson, this would be a little alarming, okay? But hopefully Jahan Dotson is caught up, and knows the playbook, and hopefully we'll make some big plays for us. I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, it's concerning, but I wouldn't force A.J. Brown to play. Or maybe I would make it look like A.J. Brown is going to play, but they kind of sit him. Or maybe he's on a snap count to see how he feels on Monday night. Because from what it looks like, he could be on some type of, let's just see how A.J. Brown feels on Monday. If not, we're going to rule him out, and we'll have somebody ready to take his roster spot for the game, if that's going to be the case going forward. So, yeah, it's a little alarming, guys. I understand that. So I think they're going to elevate somebody. If A.J. Brown is a total no-go, like I said, don't rush him back. So there's different things that they could do here, whether it's Jahan playing outside as the number 2 or still staying as the number 3 and putting Paris Campbell in there on the other side or something like that. What is the best combination? So I'm kind of iffy about it, but I think I would try to put Jahan Dotson on a bigger role this week as a number 2 to Devontae Smith, if that's the case, to see where we're at. So it's unfortunate. These things happen with injuries, and hopefully he gets better. And, maybe it heals in a few days. Maybe he'll feel fine in a few days. I don't know. There's still a little time left. If he had this injury Thursday, maybe he'll feel better in a few days. But if he even feels slight discomfort on Monday night, do not play him. It is not worth it for the rest of the season. Do not make the injury worse. Do not let this thing linger a lot longer, where A.J. Brown is going to be dealing with an injury all year, and then we're just going to be like, man, this really sucks, and we barely will even lose him at this point. So that's where I'm at with this whole receiver core and the A.J. Brown injury. Let me know your thoughts on that. Now we're going to be going into Cooper Dejean. Now, a lot of reports have been coming out so another week of practice. So every time that Cooper Dejean practices, okay, the more practices that happen, obviously he will be, are they putting him anywhere else at practice? Where is he going? It seems like he's still playing nickel. It's pretty much the only position. So I guess the Eagles feel very comfortable with Tristan McCollum as the backup safety, Avonte Maddox when he has to go there. But I think, guys, the plan going forward, from what it looks like, okay, I think Isaiah Rodgers is going to get kicked out at some point, not off the team, but I feel like they're going to make a big switch. It may not be this week, but it will be in the future, that you will have Quinyon Mitchell on the outside as the number 2. You'll have Slay as the number 1, and you will have Cooper Dejean at the nickel spot as of right now. It's almost we can't escape from it. I feel like the writing is on the wall when it comes to Cooper Dejean, where he's going to go, because I just say to myself, like, man, would love him to be the Swiss Army knife piece to this defense, but at the end of the day, Fangio's plan with specific players is really starting to show. If the Eagles were throwing Cooper Dejean in different spots during practice this week, I would feel like he's coming along nicely, but he still might be coming along very nicely just because they like him at a specific spot. And if that's nickel, then I think that's where it is. Okay, they have no trust in Avonte Maddox. Yes, the Eagles have upgraded this week, so you're going to have an upgrade at outside corner at number 2. But Isaiah Rodgers hasn't played in a bit, okay? He hasn't played a real game in a while, okay? He had some snaps in preseason, which isn't bad. So at least he's had some snaps defensively in preseason games, which is a good thing. Coming back with a vengeance, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. So very glad for Isaiah Rodgers. And obviously having Quinyon Mitchell at the nickel spot, I think is a huge upgrade because obviously, I mean, he's played that position most in camp, and what we've seen from the secondary during that the Brazil game against the Packers, it seemed like Avonte Maddox was just the worst corner out there. Can't cover tall receivers, can't cover big tight ends. He just has a problem. So, at this point, guys, like, I don't want to sit Cooper Dejean. If they're not moving him anywhere else, like, what if he gets no playing time? This is a first-round talent, guys. It is. I mean, to sit him and redshirt him just makes no sense. Yeah, obviously for certain scheme, whether it's basic, nickel, dime, whatever they want to throw him in there is fine. I don't want to be him to be some plug-in type player. I want him to be moving around constantly all game, every game of the season. Okay, 25 next year is 25, but this year, because you have Isaiah Rodgers and you have Keely Ringo, you have a lot of depth to this corner spot. Trust me, I'm not complaining about it whatsoever, but Cooper Dejean only playing one spot still. Another week of practice, catching up, trying to get better. Fangio says he's still not ready this past week, okay, well, from what was said from him. So if they're not even attempting to put him anywhere else, then all I got to say is, well, I guess this is our future nickel at the end of the day. So that's where I'm at with this situation. No movement from Cooper Dejean, the safety, or anywhere else. Nowhere else. This is where we're at with Cooper Dejean. And going to be excited to see what happens down the road. Like, Isaiah Rodgers might go into this game and look like shit. Might look horrible. But who knows? He might look horrible. And trust me, Fangio is not afraid to take a guy out and put a guy in. And trust me, if Isaiah Rodgers is struggling in this game on Monday night, look for Quinyon to be subbed in that spot. And I guarantee that 100%. Not that it's going to happen, but if Isaiah Rodgers is really starting to struggle and the pass rush isn't there and there's just a lot of things not going right, which I'm hoping it's definitely going to increase this week. With this is the better combination with Quinyon on the inside and obviously Isaiah Rodgers on the outside. This is the good combination. Okay, Avonte Maddox, I think, is definitely a weak link. A good backup, but I don't think he played the best for his first game. Hopefully plays better down the road if we really do need him. Now, lastly, I want to go over Cam Jurgens. Now, Kelsey had some things to say about Cam, and I think we can't really overlook this, guys. Like, when Kelsey retired and Cam Jurgens came right in, everybody says that, this isn't an upgrade. And you know what? This isn't. It's not an upgrade right now, okay? You have a downgrade at center, but he's playing good. He's not on Kelsey's level yet. I think we have to be realistic with it. But what I can say is this. Now, Kelsey, it feels bad because it seems like every time a play doesn't work between center to quarterback, they put it all on Jason Kelsey's not here. That's what happens when Jason Kelsey isn't here and you lost a great player in Jason. How many times did they say that in the Brazil game? They said it a million times. Every time Cam had a bad snap, he had 2 bad snaps in that game. One for the early snap on the fumble. And then the brotherly shove, the tush-push brotherly shove play in red zone. This is why you should have Jason Kelsey. This is why it's like, no shit. Obviously, we know that Jason Kelsey isn't here. With the offseason program, them not practicing and gelling together, we saw it in front of our eyes. We knew they weren't ready. We already knew that they looked like they haven't played football in 8 months, like 8-9 months to a year. That's what it looked like. Cam Jurgens in a few years is going to be an exceptional player, and who knows, he might be even a better player. Just remember that Jason Kelsey has been by his side ever since he was drafted, so he has come a long way. Okay, he is way ahead of the game because he was being trained by a gold jacket first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, this is the best situation for Cam Jurgens. It's not like Jason Kelsey retired and Cam got drafted and he wasn't here, and Kelsey wasn't around to teach him, and he's been taught by him. And plus, he played right guard all year last year and played next to him last year. So he's learned tremendously a lot and is way ahead of the game when it comes to where he is in his play. I thought he had some really good blocks. Yeah, there were some mistakes, snapping issues, but snapping issues is the least thing I'm worried about. That is a fixable thing because you practice it every single 2 seconds of the day, okay, at that position at center. So that's where you're at. I think he's going to be a great player. I'm not really worried about it too much. I feel good about it, and that's where I'm at with the whole situation. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about the A.J. Brown situation. What should be the combination of receivers they should use? Or should they, should they put Jahan Dotsons on the outside? Should they keep him as the number 3 and bring up Paris Campbell? Should Johnny Wilson get an opportunity to put, for a guy that hasn't done anything yet for this team? So they got to be very careful on Monday night. You guys let me know about all the news, what's been going on, and what do you guys think, obviously, about Dejean? Is he staying at nickel? Is he ever going to get moved? It seems like they're not moving him. So when are they going to pull the trigger and say Isaiah Rodgers has got to sit on the bench as a backup this year to let Cooper Dejean play at the nickel spot and keep Quinion on the outside? It's going to get really interesting. This video is sponsored by BetUS. Get a 150% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposit bonuses up to $2,000. Okay, keep betting, keep winning. Use promo code YouTube150. Because you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of money this season. I promise you that. And that's pretty much it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. This helps your channel tremendously. Thank you for all the support from you guys. I did not stream the other night. I did not feel good at all. I'm going to put out a community post to apologize. I couldn't even stream the other day. I was tired. I was between work and everything else been going on. I didn't feel good at all to stream the other day, so I apologize for all that. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shake some up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.